Hey entrepreneurs, it's AJ. I know things around the world are pretty hectic and the economy is in dire straits for a lot of places around the world. And one of the things that has always guided me as an entrepreneurial thinker and being in business over the last 20 odd years is this belief that no matter whatever's happening in the world, whatever the economy is doing, somewhere, somehow, someone is always making money. Why can't that be me? So, with that in mind, I know that when you're in business, you tend to sort of stick to your local area. But if things are really suffering in your local area, then you have to go beyond borders. And all of a sudden, when you make that choice in your business, you start to see opportunities open up all over the place. And so, with that in mind, I've gone global with my business. And during that journey, I stumbled across the work of Cynthia Dearin, who is an amazing entrepreneur herself, and she specializes in taking businesses global. I managed to lock Cynthia down for a quick chat, and she reveals the secrets of going global. And I hope it serves you to think beyond borders so that you too can look at the world as your customer. Here's the chat with Cynthia, and she's got an upcoming event which she shares in the video. And I hope this really serves you to really take your business to the next level. Enjoy the chat. Cynthia, thanks so much for spending these few minutes with me. You and I have chatted on LinkedIn, and I've noticed you've got a really interesting story about how you started your organization. So could you give us a little bit of what inspired you to start?
Interesting question, AJ. Look, I think I started working internationally when I was about 21, 22. And I did all these roles which were involving companies going into other parts of the world to expand. And what I learned in that journey from a 21-year-old intern in the Australian Embassy in Paris right through to a 33-year-old management consultant working for the British and American governments in Iraq was that there was all this opportunity out there in the world and these incredible things that could happen for companies in global markets, but most companies really didn't have the foggiest about where to start. And coming back to Australia, I again saw, hey, we had all these amazing companies making very, very cool stuff, but they weren't getting it out into the world because they didn't know how. And so they were missing an opportunity to really amplify their impact and make a ton of money in the process. And they were also missing the opportunity to benefit other people in other communities. And that was really the inspiration for it.
Wow, that's incredible. And I guess my audiences love following me because I talk about business and leadership and innovation. And whenever I see a business like yours, it's almost like you've done all the heavy lifting for other businesses, and I think it's fantastic. And I've read your book and I've spoken to you on LinkedIn. I'm grateful that our paths crossed. And so what do you think are the biggest challenges for businesses going overseas?
Oh gosh, how long have you got? We could talk all day, but look, I'll give you a few of the top ones. So not having a strategy at all is a massive one. So, I mean, I've spoken to a bunch of companies even in the last few weeks, and these are big companies turning over more than, well, they're not massive, but they're turning over more than $20 million a year. Some of them have grown their international footprint or their exports to say 7 to 8% of revenue. And there's all this opportunity, but it's not been done in a structured way. It's just been done in this kind of ad hoc way. And so they're leaving a lot on the table. Other people start without a strategy and they're not that fortunate and it just blows up in their face. So that's a big mistake. You have to do international growth in a way that is thought through and structured if you expect it to work. Picking the wrong market is another big mistake. So people often just gut feel where they're going to expand to. They think, oh, I've read some stuff in the press, or my mate did something over there, or even, I went on a holiday and I loved it. I think I'll expand my business there. I know that's unbelievable, but no joke, I've seen that happen. And so they put all this energy and work and time and money expanding to somewhere that really doesn't give them the best investment. And that's a huge shame because, when you try this, you discover actually it takes quite a bit. Or what else? Gosh.
There's so many, I think.
So many. Those are a couple.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And you take all the pain and suffering away pretty much in that, have a couple of conversations with you and your team. And I noticed that it's not just you, you've got some pretty serious business consultants, business advisors on your team as well. And also part of your team is you've got a distributed workforce too, right? So you're already in a lot of these countries. Except I don't think you're in Antarctica yet, are you?
Not yet. But, there's not a huge amount of demand down there right at this point in time. But that with global warming, that could definitely change.
I love it. I love it. Hey, tell us all about this event that's coming up in a few weeks. I think it'll be really interesting for any business that gets involved and heads over there.
Yeah, so the Global Lead Gen Summit is a one-day intensive that I'm running for our clients and some guests. It's up here in Sydney, and it's all about how to drive international demand online and offline. So we're doing a couple of sessions about driving demand online and covering a few tactics and tools that we know work. And then we're doing a couple of sessions about driving demand offline and looking in particular at how you get a return on investment from trade shows. We've got some clients coming along to tell us about their international journey and provide some updates on where they've got to. We've got some breakout sessions where the people who come along can sit down, workshop the problems that they're facing in their international business right now with other people on the journey and with our advisors. And it will just be an all-round awesome, fun day. We always have a great time, and people always leave having learnt a lot.
It feels like that, and it feels like I've been involved in events, a long time now, and I've never quite seen anything like this. So I'm super excited, and fingers crossed the right people come to the event, and yeah, just partnership and go global, because I think the minute that I started thinking beyond borders, it suddenly opened up a whole new world for me. And during the pandemic, I was one of the few speakers in the world that was thriving, whereas everyone else shut down. And I think that the future belongs to those that sort of pursue opportunities boldly. And for me to sort of see this, like, I've never met you personally, as you know, but to see your stuff on LinkedIn, and it has just truly taken my thinking to new levels. So yeah, hopefully a few of my audience turn up and just even start following you on LinkedIn and just make the magic happen. So thank you so much for spending this time with me and sharing your insights, and I really appreciate it.
That is my pleasure. And I guess I should just say for anybody watching, if you see this video and you think maybe I should apply for a guest spot, put a comment below the video or connect up with me on LinkedIn, send me a direct message, and I will tell you what you need to do to get a guest spot. And AJ, if you can make it, you should jump on a plane, come up from Melbourne and join us.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for the invite. I'll definitely check it out. Thanks, Cynthia. Take care, right?
No worries. See ya.